Hey guys, welcome back to After Credit Movie Chats and to our weekly new segment of scene selection. I simply pick one scene out of a movie I watched this past week or weekend, and then talk about it, why maybe it was my favorite scene, why it stood out, something along those lines. And I finally was able to find Blood Diamond on HBO, actually. I've been really wanting to see this movie for a long time. I mean, it had been nominated for quite a few Academy Awards as far as acting goes, with DiCaprio getting a nomination for Best Lead Actor. And so once I finally found HBO, I definitely wanted to sit down and watch it. But it wasn't even a performance necessarily by DiCaprio that got me. It was by, and I apologize for the way I'm going to pronounce this because I'm sure it's not quite right, but Digimon Hanzo, who I'm sure you've seen in things. If you haven't seen Blood Diamond, like Gladiator, he was recently in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's been nominated a couple of times, and in Blood Diamond he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. And the scene I selected, I think, shows why. I mean, there's multiple scenes in this where he's just an absolutely compelling character, and he's the character you're rooting for more so than DiCaprio, because DiCaprio's character, Danny Archer, isn't necessarily like the nicest guy in the world. But the scene involves them hiking as they are going to look for the specific diamond that they've been after for a large part of the movie. That it comes up pretty early on, but it's kind of them, and DiCaprio is set on getting that diamond, and Solomon Vandy, played by Hanzo, kind of has some different ideas, and I think the scene portrays just how well he acted in this movie, the way he just gives raw emotion, and how much you really care for him. And there might be a mild spoiler alert. I mean, there won't be any plot details that's too major given away, but if you really, really want to see the movie blind, I'd suggest not seeing it. But because a suggestion was made to me, and I always appreciate suggestions from you guys, that maybe if I should show part of the scene so you know what I'm talking about. So the scene I'm talking about involves DiCaprio's character and Hanzo's character, Danny Archer and Solomon Vandy, as they get into a pretty heated argument, and it's just the way that Hanzo just absolutely gives off this raw emotion in this scene is why it's worth it. So take a look.
Don't you move! Don't you move, huh?
My son is there!
Your son is gone! Huh?
He's alive!
Gone!
He's alive! He's there with those crazy people! I am his father! His father! I should have protected him! I must go find him! I cannot live without knowing! Shoot me if you want, but I'm going! But it doesn't matter! I'm dead already!
Alright, see, right there you can see as they get into this wrestling match, just the realness of his emotions that he conveys, just how strong they are and what he's willing to do and fight for in order to get his son back. And that's, although the movie is a good movie, it's not a great movie, but his performance with his character, there's so many scenes where there's just so much emotion, where he's just this guy that has gotten caught up into something that he was not prepared for, he doesn't support, he doesn't want to be something, doesn't want to be involved in it. And for that reason, I think you need to see this movie if you haven't, because the performances are great. DiCaprio is great in this movie. There's a reason he got nominated, but in a way he's almost outshined by Hanzo's character, Solomon Vandy, because you care for him a lot more, and the way this emotional character is presented by Hanzo, it is something incredible to watch, and one of the better pieces of acting I've seen recently. So I suggest, if you haven't seen Blood Diamond, if you have HBO Go or HBO Now or any of those, to look it up on there and watch it as soon as possible. But that would be this week's scene selection, guys. That scene from Blood Diamond, I think it shows the caliber of acting that was in this movie, the raw emotion it has of it, and just kind of the conflicted nature that the whole movie goes through. And so I think it's definitely worth the watch, and I think it's a great scene to really depict what this movie is all about.